I'm Olivia Bono-Voznenko for Modern Wall Street, and I'm having the pleasure of interviewing Peter Costa for the first time today. So let me introduce you to him and Peter to the show. Hello, Peter. We're going to chat about earnings today. What do you think about that?
Well, I'd love to chat with you, but after you threw me under the bus before, I'm not sure I really want to go into it. But we can discuss it. I'm more than happy to discuss it with you.
Awesome. Well, let's go over the bus. Now, earnings season so far pretty good. Morgan Stanley wowed us this morning. So what's really driving the winners?
Well, I think the lowered expectations, what they've done for the last 3 quarters is consistently lower expectations for the following quarter. So it's really not a very high bar to beat. Morgan did surprise. I think Morgan was probably the biggest surprise out of all of them. You think that Goldman, they really blew the doors off of their earnings yesterday. You would think that would be hard to beat, but I think Morgan's been under a lot of pressure, and they did very well.
What's on your earnings watch?
Well, normally it's the financials, so we're almost through with that. So, and I think looking at the financials, they were pretty good, and they've been beaten up most of the year. I think this might be a starting point for maybe a little bit of a run towards the end of the year. So, keeping the eye on the financials and the smaller banks too, the regional banks I like to look at because I think there's a lot of them there it's a lot of value. You just have to look for it.
Okay, cool. Now, we have a lot of economic data this week, too. So is that really driving the performance of the markets, or is it the earnings season?
Well, if you looked at, one of the things, housing starts came out this morning, and they were weaker, and I think that's a underpinning of a lot of the economy. So, but the market didn't react poorly to it. So, you would think that data would have that effect. And I think most of the time people, when they look at the data that comes out on a weekly basis, it's how is it going to affect the Fed's opinion about raising rates? Or is the economy strong enough? Is it moving fast enough? Is it growing too fast? Do they need to do something? You're not really getting that. So, we still look at it. You definitely want to keep certain things, like the CPI, you always want to keep an eye on because that's the leading indicator of, what the Fed is thinking. If they see that thing start accelerating too quickly, it might be time to do something. It hasn't. And then you also look at wage growth, too. And that's one of the key things. But that only comes out once a month. But that's one of the things we really keep an eye on.
Well, next month is the big presidential election, and tonight is the final debate. Yesterday, Tim Kaine mentioned that he and Hillary Clinton wish to strengthen Wall Street regulation. So what would a Democratic win have on future business performance?
Well, they've already destroyed 3/4 of the business that we do down here. So, we have a quarter left. They might as well take that one away from us as well. Would not be happy with that. And I think most of Wall Street, there's enough regulation. My firm alone, we spend probably, I'd say 20% of our time dealing with regulation, and I think that's counterproductive. You can't build a business or you can't build, an industry when you're constantly worrying about, regulations. There are some that are very good and very strong, and we should have left them 5 years ago. To change it and make it harder to do business, to me, is totally... It's not helping the economy and not helping Wall Street. And you know what? There are a lot of the industries that also have a lot of regulation that they have to deal with. To me, it's ludicrous to be putting that much pressure and that much financial burden on small companies to just meet regulations. And I'd be very, very unhappy if we had any more.
All right. Well, whether you're watching the debate tonight, get your popcorn out. And thank you so much for meeting me today.
It was great being there. And I'm not having any popcorn. It'll be a shot of whiskey.